Anyways, moving on, we have Freezing Vibration, which is a sequel to Freezing, and probably the most fitting subtitle addition to the title ever made with Vibration. If you watched the first season and you liked it, you're weird, but here's your sequel. Kidding. If you like the first season, here you go, here's your sequel. If you haven't watched the first season, then don't watch this, obviously. You should watch the first season first. Next we have is Strike the Blood. The school action fantasy story of Strike the Blood revolves around Kojo Akatsuki, a boy deemed the world's most powerful vampire, once thought to only exist in legend and lore, and Yukina Hirameki, a girl entrusted with watching over the vampire and, if needed, hunting him down. Synopsis sounds interesting enough. What, did I really add a T to that? Sounds interesting enough, and it's also being done by Silverlink, which is a studio I'm really fond of, as far as the shows they do. They really like to play I've already said it before, I believe, in a previous season preview, but they're a branch off of Studio Shaft when that happened, and they made their own studio, and they like to play around with colors a lot. Or at least one of the directors does. Starting with last season, they started branching off into two main directors, and one of them doesn't play around with colors as much. I'm not sure which one this is, based on the little title picture right here, and maybe the one who doesn't play around with this artsy color stuff, so that kind of sucks. But still, I like Silverlink, so I'm willing to give them a shot. I don't know why I like them, I just do. I have no idea why I like Silverlink. I like half of their shows, but hey, you know, I guess I'm biased in that way. I'm gonna give the show a shot. It sounds interesting enough anyway, synopsis-wise, so it should be pretty interesting at least. So I'm gonna give that a go. Next up we have a really long title. Yusha ni nara nakara ore wa shubi shubu shusko wa kutsui shimashita. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. God, I wish they would just translate it in English. Anyways, the story revolves around Raoru. What? A boy who did not become a hero since the Demon Lord was already defeated just before his hero exams. His dreams dashed, Raoru spends his days working at a magic shop in the capital. One day, a part-time job seeker appears at the shop with an amazing resume. Name Fino, previous occupation Demon Lord Heir. Motive, because my father was defeated. The work comedy revolves around this former hero in training and the daughter of the Demon Lord. So basically it's a comedy. As with the usual with comedies, what I do is I give them 3 episodes to see if I like the kind of humor they have. Or at most 3 episodes to see if I like the kind of humor they have. And if I do, then I keep watching. And if I don't like the humor, then I just drop it. It's pretty simple. That's pretty much how comedies go. Because, you know, there's so many different kinds of comedies. It's, you know, good to just watch it and see what kind of jokes they have. If they fit your kind of, you know, idea of what's funny, you know, fit your style of humor, then you keep watching. And if not, then, well, screw them. Anyways, so I'll give it a shot to see what kind of comedy it's got. And if it's good, I'll keep watching. Next we have Log Horizon, a show which I probably don't even need to read the synopsis for because people already know about it, but I'm going to do it anyways. The story begins when 30,000 Japanese gamers are trapped in the fantasy online game world Elder Tale. What was once a sword and sorcery world is now the real world. The main lead Shiro attempts to survive with his old friend Natsugo and the beautiful assassin Akatsuki. Nyanta is a mysterious player who looks like a cat. I like that little addition at the end. Anyways, those of you who know about this already are basically maybe some of the people who are saying, oh my god, totally ripping off Sword Art, definitely not Sword Art Online, oh my god, Sword Art Online V2 right here. Those of you who are saying that, .hack would like a lord with you. Keep in mind, Sword Art Online was at first essentially a ripoff of .hack. So those of you who are saying this is a ripoff of Sword Art Online are talking out of your ass. Because while you may have some ground with that, .hack was first. Anyways, even regardless of who's ripping off who, it doesn't change the fact that it doesn't make any shows that kind of take the same synopsis any worse. Taking a setting from another show, while kind of unnerving a little bit, kind of like, wait, I've seen this before, doesn't inherently mean that the show's going to be bad. It's just, you know, they're just, you know, taking the setting, you know. They could have completely different writing styles and quality and all that other stuff. You have no idea. And I'd just like to say, there is no way Log Horizon can be worse than SAO. Let's just put that out of the way right now. SAO was pretty fucking awful. There's no way this can be worse. So I'm actually pretty excited to watch this. I'm really hoping it's going to be, well, I'm not hoping, I know it's going to be better than SAO. I'm just curious how much better. Because it could just be, meh, but it could actually be pretty good. Who knows? Those of you who are not giving it a shot because it totally rips off Sword Art Online, give it a shot. It could be a whole lot better than Sword Art Online for all you know. And if you don't think it's better, then whatever. You still gave it a shot. Just because it's the same setting doesn't mean it's going to be any worse. You know, it could be just as good. Could be worse. It could be worse. It could be better. You know, give it a shot, man. Don't judge it just by the fact that it rips off the setting. Except it was .act first. I'm always going to keep saying that whenever people say stuff rips off Sword Art Online. Just because it's the most popular right now doesn't mean it was first. Anyways, the other reason you should watch Log Horizon, and the reason why it's pretty much automatically better than SAO regardless of how the writing turns out, is because it has a cat character, Nyanta, voiced by Joji Nakata. That's pretty much all you need to know that this show is going to be fucking amazing. For those of you who don't know, Joji Nakata voiced a fucking dragon in Demon King Daimyo. Yeah. Fucker's awesome. Although, maybe more popularly, some of you may know him as John Doe from Yumekui Mary? Yeah, that's what it was. Yumekui Mary. Dude has a sweet voice. He's probably only second to Wakamoto in having a manly voice. And he's voicing a fucking cat character. How much more badasses can that get? Already fucking show of the season right now. Anyways, I'm really looking forward to Log Horizon. It should be pretty good. Definitely better than SAO. I just don't know how much better. But hopefully it doesn't turn out like Infinite Stratos in the fact that it'll be amount of time Nyanta is on screen divided by amount of time the episode was equals your percentage for how good the episode was. Hopefully it's not going to rely on that for being, for that. Hopefully the writing's better than that, but, still. Fucking cat character voiced by Joji Nakata. Fucking show of the season of the year of the millennium. Wait, I think I jumped a few things. Anyways, moving on. We have Little Buster's Refrain, which is a sequel to Little Busters. If you have watched Little Busters, here you go. Here's your sequel that's continuing the story. I believe it's not completely finished with the first season. I dropped the first season because it was so fucking boring. So here you go. Here's your sequel if you watched that, and if you haven't, then you should probably watch the first season first if you're interested. Next up, we have White Album 2, which is a sequel. Well, it's related to the White Album TV series, but fuck it. It has 2 in the fucking title. It's a sequel of some kind. Or at least it's relevant enough that you need to have seen the first one, because they bothered to give it a 2. Because someone sees that title and they're like, where's 1? Anyways, point is, if you've seen the original White Album TV series, here you go. Here's a show that's maybe not a sequel, but you probably need to have seen the first one to know this. Next we have Hajime no Ippo Rising, sequel to the Hajime no Ippo New Challenger TV series. Again, another sequel. If you've seen Hajime no Ippo, then here you go. Here's your sequel. And if you haven't seen it, then you should probably watch the original first. I'm going to shamefully admit that I have not watched Hajime no Ippo, even though it's one of the most popular shonen shows and manga of all time. I don't know. Maybe it's not shonen. But it's really fucking popular, and I have not seen it, or read it, so, sue me. Moving on, we have Kuroko no Basuke second season, which is a sequel to the first season of Kuroko no Basuke. Do I even pronounce the E at the end with the A? Whatever. If you've seen the first season, here you go. Here's your sequel. If you have not, again, then you should watch the first season first. I have not watched the first season, but I've heard good things. I've heard it's very entertaining, so good for you, those of you who get your second season. Here you go. I've also heard about all the crazy otaku, threats against conventions based around Kuroko no Basuke, so, yeah, that puts a bad taste in my mouth, and automatically wants me to support the Kuroko no Basuke people. Apparently it's, whatever. I'm not gonna get into a rant about that right now, but there you go, here's your sequel if you wanted it, which I'm assuming most people did. Next we have Seiyu Sentai Voice Storm 7, which I almost want to call it Voice Storm. This motion comic anime will take the original manga and combine it with spoken dialogue, motion effects, and other special effects to create 12 to 15-minute episodes. Or 12 15-minute episodes. Original story concept creator Masaki collaborated with the talent agency 81 Produce and artist Sai Matsunaga to create the series about a team of voice acting heroes who protect the peace for Earth and Otaku. That synopsis sounds really dumb. And it's also based off a really flimsy basis, essentially. So it's not really something that interests me. So I'm probably going to give this a pass. But if something interests you, then there you go. Check it out, if anyone subs it. I don't know. It seems like the kind of show that people won't even bother to sub. But hey, if they sub it, there you go. But I'm not interested either way, so hey. Moving on, we have Tasagure Bakatsu Mono. The anime will center around the extracurricular activities of students. That's it. And the picture has 3 totally moe girls on the front. Okay, maybe not that moe, but it looks like it's trying to be cute. So, basically your K-On! ripoff of the season. No. Nope. Next, we have Diano A. Why? I think I've even seen the English title for this, the English translation for this title, and it's not even here. God, I wish they would just put the English title. Anyways, the story follows Eijin Sawamura, a pitcher who joins an elite school with a brilliant catcher named Kazuya Miyuki. Together with the rest of the team, they strive for Japan's storied Keishuin championships through hard work and determination. Basically, baseball, sports, anime stuff. I've heard it's kind of good. I think there's actually people excited for this, which is the first for, you know, a sports-related show. Sports-related shows aren't really my thing, though. It's probably because I don't really care for sports in general, in real life, so it doesn't really carry over to anime either. Although usually it's not really about the sports, obviously, you know, it's about the characters themselves, but it's trying to keep my interest with the sports in addition. Kind of like how something like Gothic tries to keep your attention with the mysteries to add on to, you know, extra flair to what's going on. Although it ties into the themes and story and all that other stuff, whatever. The sports stuff is there to, you know, keep you interested sports-wise, too. But sports bore me, so I would be bored during those parts where it's trying to keep my attention with sports. So not really my thing, but if you like, you know, if you don't care about sports anime or you like sports anime, then there you go. You know, here's a show that people seem decently excited for. So, and it's a collaboration between Madhouse and Production IG, which is kind of interesting. I don't know if they've ever worked on something together before. But that sounds interesting, so there you go. Here's a show that seems like it could be interesting. Yeah, have fun with that if you watch it. Moving on, we have Magi's second season, which is the sequel to the Magi series, which is excellent. I'm so glad I get to watch the second season finally. Those of you who don't know, I actually made a video saying why you should watch the first season of Magi as I was watching Magi. I think I was like 18 episodes, or maybe I was just halfway into the show. I think I was a little more than halfway into the first season of Magi when I made a video telling you why you should watch Magi, because the directing and writing were really, really good. And while I think the writing was really, really good up until the last episode where it got, it didn't necessarily get bad in the last episode, but it got a little too much friendship is power kind of writing. It didn't kill my enthusiasm. I still really, really enjoyed the season. And so I'm really looking forward to the second season. I've heard that there are actually people, as far as the manga goes, that actually don't like Magi as much now that it's in the, whatever this is called, Magnostad arc or whatever. Like, apparently, like, the more recent chapters of Magi, people are losing interest, apparently, which is very strange. But then again, these are the same people who complained about the first season of Magi being complete shit because it didn't follow the manga, even though I have read the manga and the portions that are in the anime in the first one, because I was enjoying the anime, so I read the manga, and I personally think the anime was better than the manga as far as story goes. So sue me. So in that regard, I'm that random rant out of the way. I'm really excited for the second season. It is very, very high potential of being my show of the season because of how, oh god, I just really like it. So good. I'm really excited for it. So if you've watched the first season of Magi, there's no reason you shouldn't watch this. If you haven't seen the first season of Magi yet, you really, really should. And then you should watch the second season. It comes with my recommendation easily. Moving on, we have Fee-Brain, Kami no Puzzle third season, which is obviously the third season of Fee-Brain. I watched 3 episodes or so of the first season. It wasn't bad, but I was watching other things that season that I was more interested in, so I dropped it. But apparently Fee-Brain is like a phenomena as far as like England goes. Like apparently English people really, 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 really love Fee-Brain. I don't know why, but it's probably for the same reason that Spain is in love with the Saint Seiya series. There are just random regions that just fall in love with these series for reasons I don't even know. So anyways, if you've watched the first 2 seasons of Fee-Brain and you wanted the third season, here you go. Here's your third season. Good stuff. If you have not watched the first 2 seasons of Fee-Brain, then maybe if you're interested, you should, you know, watch it and give it a go. A guy likes to solve puzzles. It's kind of cool, I guess. It was interesting what I saw. But anyways, if you want to watch it, then first 2 seasons, and then here you go, here's your third season. If you're English and you have not watched any of the Fee-Brain seasons, you probably should watch it, because apparently it's your thing. I don't know. Obviously, there's exceptions. You know, not everyone's going to be in love with it, but I don't know why English people love it so much, but they do. So if you're English and you have not yet watched Fee-Brain, I guess I recommend you watch it, because apparently everyone else that's English does. Anyways, moving on, we have Sekai de Ichiban Tsuyoku Narita. Tai. Hagiwara Sakura and Miyazaki Alina are the leading members of the popular idol group Sweet. One day, Alina is injured by the attack of a female pro wrestler, Kazamaruo, during the recording of a TV program. To avenge Alina, Sakura enters the female pro wrestling matches. That's an example of a synopsis that had me off at first when I read about an idol group, and then suddenly pro wrestling. I think I might give the first 3 episodes a go. Good on you, synopsis. Kudos. That was clever. It made me like, oh, not another one, and then suddenly injured in pro wrestling, and I'm like, wait, what? I don't even know what to say. I'm gonna watch the first 3 episodes. This could be pretty entertaining, especially if it's very self-aware. It could be a comedy of the season for all I know. So I'll give it three seasons to see how it turns out. It sounds amusing. And if it sucks, I'll drop it. If it doesn't suck, then I'll keep watching. Moving on, we have Tekkyu Season 3, the 3rd season of Tekkyu. If you've watched the first 2 seasons, then here you go. Here's your 3rd season. If you have not watched the first 2 seasons and you want to watch this season, then you should probably watch those first 2 seasons, and then you can watch this. I have not watched it at all, so I have no opinion on the show whatsoever, because I don't even remember anyone talking about it. I don't even remember anyone talking about the show. I think that's also saying something. It's like, was it that forgettable? I don't even know. Anyways, I've never seen it, so I have no opinion, but there you go. If you've seen the first 2 seasons, here you go. Here's your 3rd season. Next we have Yozakura Quartet, Hana no Uda, an alternate retelling of the Yozakura Quartet TV series. I kept mixing up the K and Z. I guess because it's a retelling, I'll read the synopsis. The story revolves around a quartet of teenage heroes, a super strong girl named Hime, a mind reader named Aoi, a conjurer named Kotoha, and an ordinary powerless boy named Akina. The 3 girls and Akina protect the city of Sakureshin from supernatural threats. Although it's a retelling of the Yozakura Quartet TV series, I don't know if it's one you need to see the original TV series of to get the most out of. Like, for example, Rose and Maiden aired last season. I still need to watch it. I'm going to marathon it. But I've heard that the first season is the first episode is essentially the original season or something. Apparently it's really fast paced, or it's like an alternate path. Like, apparently a character does something different and therefore it's like an alternate universe or something. This may be the same idea, so you may not need to see the original Yozakura Quartet. I don't fucking know. But I've never seen it, and I feel like I wouldn't, if I want to watch a spin-off of something or an alternate retelling, I want to watch the original. Rose May was an exception, don't ask why. I don't know. I'm not gonna watch it because I would think I'd rather have seen the original first and then see this retelling if I like the original. But I don't know. It's an alternate retelling, so I feel like it should be okay enough to watch even if you haven't seen it. So if you're interested, you give it a shot. If you're confused after 3 episodes, if you're confused, you should probably drop it and watch the original. Or not watch the original if you're not interested, but if you're confused, then it means you should watch the original. But otherwise, I think you should be fine. But I'm just going to give it a pass. Anyways, this is taking way too long. I need to hurry the fuck up. We have Megan Boo, which is Studio Dean. I don't know why I said that. Akira Soma is the 17-year-old club president and founder of the Eyeglasses Club. He categorizes all of humanity into 3 groups: glasses, those who don't wear glasses, and the ladies. He scolds those who wear contacts, going around and calling them weaklings. There were many times when he, the passionate boy that he is, would argue with his fellow club mates about glasses. His favorite kind of glasses are ones with square frames, and both of his eyes have 0.03 vision in the Japanese eyeglasses prescription notation. That would be nice if I knew what it was compared to ours. Anyways, it's about a bunch of cute boys wearing glasses. Not really my thing. It doesn't even seem that amusing based on like the comedic kind of synopsis it has. It's not really my kind of comedy based on how it was given. I don't know. So it doesn't really catch my attention, but I don't know. If you like you guys wearing glasses, there you go. I guess. There's your show. But yeah, I'm not gonna give it a go. So I need to save time. Moving on, we have Walkura Romance? I don't know how to pronounce it. The story centers around Takahiro Mizuno, a student training to be a beglader, or a knight's assistant. At an academy where aspiring knights joust, he himself had come to this academy to train as a knight after becoming the unrivaled junior champion in his own home country. However, an injury in a tournament's finals forced him to withdraw. Instead, he decides to be a knight's assistant to one of the academy's maiden knights and help her win. I don't know if this is a romance or whatever. Wait, it's based off a visual novel. Uh-oh. This could be one of those rare visual novels where there isn't any sex, but otherwise it's probably gonna be a harem. Hopefully it's just a heart-telling story of friendship and helping each other out. I'm gonna give it, I'm interested in the knight kind of setting. I like medieval settings. I'm gonna watch the first 3 episodes and see if it's not stupid harem bullshit. And if it isn't, then I'm gonna keep watching it. If it is, I'll probably drop it. But I don't know, just based off the visual novel. I obviously did no research before starting this at all, because that's how I roll. If it's any of them, if it's ones with sex scenes in it. Though keep in mind, very, very few visual novels don't have sex scenes, so. Then again, there are also ones that just shove them in because they're required. Like, there are a lot of, like for example, Sayano Uda is something that feels like it's really, the sex scenes are really awkward. Like, it feels like they were just shoved in because the producer told them to, or something. You know? Like, sometimes the story sits fine without them, so having a show based on them without those scenes actually flows really nicely. But anyways, point is I'm going to watch the first 3 episodes. If it's good, I'll keep going. If not, then whatever. Next we have is Kitsune. The story is set at a small Shinto harvest shrine dating back to the Edo period. Makoto Sekai lives with her father, the head priest of the shrine, and Gintaro, a kitsune, or a fox spirit, who happens to be a messenger for the gods. Makoto also happens to be the only one who can see the shrine's kitsune. Fox god, or fox spirit. The original manga follows the everyday life of Makoto and Gintaro as they act as the go-between for the gods and humans. It sounds like there's no real plot to this, which may work in its favor, but usually when things don't have a plot, I need to really, really, really care about the characters, and I don't know if, just based on the setting here, that I would really care that much about the show, honestly. I might give it 3 episodes, but if I have too much else on my plate that I'm having trouble keeping up with, I probably won't give it a chance. But if I have the time, then I'll give it the 3 episodes chance. Otherwise, I won't, because of time stuff. But yeah. Moving on, we have Gundam Build Fighters, which is the story is set in... do I even have to read this? It's something based on Gundam. It's basically Sunrise doing another Gundam show. And it's got first-year middle school students and son of a model shop owner, and they do stuff, and they make stuff. I don't know if they're actually piloting Gundams or if they're making, like, toy Gundams and doing that stuff, because based on the synopsis, it sounds like they make, like, robots, and those happen to look like Gundam. But anyways, I've never really been into the Gundam series. I still need to watch some of the older ones that are held up as being like the best Gundam series, so I need to watch those. But otherwise, Gundam's not really a series that interests me all that much, so I'm gonna give it a pass. If you like Gundam, or if this seems interesting to you based on the synopsis you managed to read that I didn't, then there you go. You can watch it. Give it a go. Sunrise doing another Gundam show.